Peace, y'all. I am Natty, the Melanin Goddess, and I am sending positive healing energy your way. Make sure you catch that with your left hand, receiving with your left hand. Your left hand is for receiving. All right. Today, we are going to get into how I communicate with my spirit guides and how my spirit guides communicate with me. So I told y'all in the first video that I have had the gift of communicating with my spirit guides my whole life. So I never told really anybody. My mom has known. She called me ESP when I was a child. But I think she was a little bit embarrassed by it because she was Baptist Christian. She grew up in the church, and everything is witchcraft to them. So she never talked about it. We never discussed it outside of the house. She never really explained to me what it meant or like what I was supposed to do with it. Or she just always called me ESP. And she called me ESP because I always did things before she asked me to do them. Okay, so my spirit guides was always telling me, go ahead and go do this, or go ahead and go do that, or go ahead and go do that. And then I would do it, and she would always say, I was just about to tell you to do that, or I was just about to say that. So that's been my whole life, okay? It took for me to become an adult to accept this gift and not feel like I was cursed, okay? So, communicating with your spirit guides is kind of like a radio station. It's all about frequency. Once you tune to the right frequency, you can hear them. You can get to the right frequency, you can hear your angels. Get to the right frequency, you can hear your spirit guide, your ascended masters. And if you get to the right frequency, you are communicating directly with source. Okay? So, and there's also a frequency you can get on where you can hear other people's thoughts or read their mind. And I don't like to get on that frequency because that frequency will hurt your feelings, because you might hear somebody thinking something about you that, like, somebody that you really admire or whatever, and they just might not feel the same way about you. So it's really not always a good idea to get on the frequency of tapping into other people's thoughts. So I try to not get on that frequency. Let's put it like that. I'd rather just communicate with my spirit guides, my spirit team, my ancestors, and my angels and ascended masters and source. Okay. Oh, and my Orisha, or my Ori. Okay. So, okay, we're gonna get into communicating with our spirit guides and the language of spirit. Okay. So I'm going to allow spirit to just come through and do what they do. All right. Before I do that, let me explain to you that most people think you do hear people, when you grow up in Christianity, in church, you hear people speaking in tongues and you assume that that's how you communicate with spirit. And it's almost how you communicate with spirit, except for you just don't keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, because that's like going to another country and you only know one word and you just keep saying that one word over and over and over again, and they just be looking at you trying to help you figure out what you're trying to say. So spirit is kind of the same way. They have their own language and it's not just one word. And I would rather communicate with them in their language, because English is a dead language. Okay. Almost every other language is more powerful. When you're doing spiritual work, every other language is more powerful than English. So it's better to either learn another language or be able to communicate with spirit in their language. Okay. And I used to know Latin, but I have forgotten the majority of it. So all right, let's go. Ishekere bose abakashi. Irese yarabakashi eresi omokoresi yarabasha. Ibekeshi eresi yarorokoshi yaranabaresi yarakashi. Ebokoshi eresi yaroroko yabara. Ashe yarakashi eresi. Imokoshi eresi yarokoshi. Yarabakaya eresi yabakare. Igo yabakare eresi yarokoshi. Yarabasi yareke. Ibekeshi yarabakare rurose yaba. Yarabakashi eresi yarokoshi. Yabaha yabarese ya. Imorokoshi eresi yarabokoshi. Yabareke ya. Iyororosi yarabakaya. Ashi keresi yaman. Arereke si yororosi yaba. Yabakashi ya. Imararese yarabokore reresi. Yabakashi yerese. O mararese yorobokoshi yara. Yabakashi yeresi yaraba. Ashe. That's just a small prayer, okay? A small communication with spirit. Mashi keresi yoroko yararabashi ye ya yabakashi yeresi yoroko yararabas. Iyara koreshi. Irorobo koresi yananabakashi yere. Yabashi keresi yoroko ya yaba. Ayabaka yararese yako yabashi. Iyararase yaba. Imama kurese yabakashi yororose yama. Iyakoyararese. Ashe. Ashe. I love communicating with my spirit guys, y'all. I encourage everyone to tap in. Tap in. Matter of fact, I did a tarot reading for someone the other day, and the first card that came out was they needed to connect with their spirit guides and their ancestors. So that could be relevant for a lot of people right now. Just tap in, sit down, and get quiet and listen to whatever spirit has to say to you. I promise you it'll be something good. Yes. Thank you, spirit. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, spirit. I talk to my spirit guides so much, y'all. They call me Gratitudely because I am always grateful. Always grateful. I call my spirit guides Espirito. And they call me Gratitudely. It's good to have a good connection with your spirit guides because that is the first level to tap into source. Once you can connect with your spirit guides and your ancestors and your ascended masters, then you begin to reach a frequency that allows you to tap into source. Because if you don't do that first and you just try to tap into source, you will probably explode. Like, I mean, literally. Because your frequency is not high enough to contain that type of energy. So I encourage everyone, it doesn't matter what religion you are, if you're not in religion at all, because I am no longer in religion. I follow my own path with spirit and source. And I take a little bit from, I guess you can say, each religion, because each one does have a little bit of truth. But I don't follow any particular religion. I follow source. I am divine enlightenment. And I hope you all have a supreme day. Ashe, Ashe.